Hello, guys. Welcome to Junie Lion Williams Adventures. I'm William. We thought that we'd come back for a short video again today. Some of our subscribers have asked us, what does it take to come to the Philippines? That's what we want to talk about for a little while. What does it take to come to the Philippines? Some of you may know that I've been living here in the Philippines for over a year now, and I'm married to a Filipina, and we're living here in Lapu-Lapu City. That's a tri-city area in Cebu. There's three cities that are kind of like cornerstone cities: Mandaue City, Cebu City, and Mactan, Lapu-Lapu City. About 5 miles from the Mactan Airport, which is a major airport. It's an hour's flight from Manila, and you can get anywhere from this area, is why I like the area. But when I first came over, I came for 3 weeks. Me and another gentleman that worked with me, we wanted to take a vacation. We decided on the Philippines. We had been talking to girls online, him, a girl, and myself, the one that turned out to be my wife. And we decided we were going to go over and visit them. Now, remember, guys, to come to the Philippines is not around the corner. It's a 16-hour one-way flight from New York at JFK. One flight leaves a day. A round-trip ticket probably cost, at that time, it was around $1,200. The prices have went up since the pandemic had just ended not long ago. I think that you would pay anywhere from $1,800 to $2,500 round trip. Could find it a little less, and that would be coach. Anything higher than coach, premium economy, or something else would be more. But that would be the most expensive thing in your trip. So the number one thing you need is time, because you need about at least minimum of 2 weeks. Better off with 3 weeks if you're coming to visit the Philippines. I know that some of you guys have been talking to a Filipino woman online, and you trying to decide when to come over and visit. What do you need to do, or what do you need to put in order? And remember, that's a different situation. We'll talk another time at length about what it takes to retire in the Philippines. But to come and visit, I would say you need about 2,500 to 3,000 US dollars. You would need to exchange maybe some of that money when you get to the airport in Manila or Cebu, because you're going to need to then catch a cab or to the location where you are staying. You can book an Airbnb or a hotel ahead. They're both very inexpensive. You could stay for a whole month at an Airbnb with everything in there for probably $300 for the whole month. You could get 3-star, 4-star hotel for probably anywhere from $40 to $60 a night, breakfast included. The plane would come into Manila more than likely, unless you got a layover and came in to go to LAX first, and then maybe try to get to Cebu. But from New York, the flights come direct to Manila. That's the flight I took, 16 hours. When you come to the Philippines, you're going to have to get your phone unlocked, because your phone will not work in the Philippines. It will only work for Messenger, but it will not work to make phone calls. When I came to the Philippines, I made sure that I had my phone unlocked, that I could put a chip in, change the chip. That's what you would need to do here for it to work. Or you could get a Skype number, which I did. I got a Skype number that I'm able to call back to the US with. Even now, I still use that. And that was for only about $8.52 US every 3 months. Very inexpensive. But that phone would save you if you need to call your bank, or you need to call Social Security, or you need to call somewhere back in the US. Remember, you can't call from a Filipino phone. You can call back to the US, but it's very expensive. Over here, they mostly don't have plans. They buy what is called load or data. It's very inexpensive, but it's fine when you're here. but it's not good for calling back to the US. So you would need money. You would need to get your plane ticket. You would need to make your plan. You would have to make sure that if you are meeting a woman, a Filipino woman, that she knows your ETA, your estimated time of arrival. Remember, it's a 12 to 13 hour difference in time coming from the US to the Philippines, guys. We're 13 hours East Coast time in the US in the future. We're 13 hours ahead of the US time in the East when they turn the clocks forward or backwards. It'll be 12 hours if they go back. So, number one thing you would have to do is make sure you have enough money. You would have to exchange some of your money when you get to the Philippines so that you can at least have enough money to get a cab to your location. You know, there are banks that are in the US that do money exchange of the country you're going to, which would be the Philippines, which they use here, the Philippine peso. Every US dollar, guys, is worth 56 Philippine pesos. Now remember, so that means your money goes a much longer way here in the Philippines. Rent is cheap. Food is cheap. So even if you're staying at 3-star, 4-star hotel on the beach, you might only pay a couple $100 for 3 days, 4 days. So that's places that you would play that would look like Key West, or it would look like something that you would pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for in the US. You would pay much less here in the Philippines. I always like to tell people the Philippines is almost like Hawaii without all the money. There's 7,000 islands in the Philippines. A lot of them are inhabitable, and they have white sand. They have blue water. They're just breathtakingly beautiful, guys. Some of you have been talking to a Filipino woman for quite a while in online relationships, LDRs, and you want to come and see that woman. Remember, she could be different in person than she was when you were talking online. A lot of times, you know, in the Philippines, relationships are real fast. So make sure that you already state the obvious, what your intentions are, that you're not ready to get married in a month. You're not ready to be in a steady relationship that quick. Then let them know, because it's very quick. It happens here. If you've been talking to that girl for quite a while, she's going to think that when you get here, you know, that's who you're going to be with. So make sure you make your intentions clear. But the phone is a main thing, guys. The phone will not work when you get here. You have to make sure that you have a working phone when you get here. That means that you have to have it unlocked so that you can put a chip in it from the Philippines. You need to make sure you have enough money. Make sure that you talk to your bank. Let your bank know that you are coming to the Philippines. Because if they see charges in the Philippines on your debit card or your credit card, they might think it's fraud, and they may lock your card. There are lots of ways to transfer money in the Philippines. You can use Western Union. You can use MoneyGram. You can use Wise. Also, the question was, how dangerous is it here? I mean, the most thing that you might fear in the Philippines is maybe pickpocketing. Maybe kids coming up to you asking for money. Maybe the cab driver trying to overcharge you if you look like you've never been here and you don't quite know what the money is. Remember, the way that I remember the Filipino money is that 1,000 Philippine pesos is approximately 20 US dollars. But as I said, guys, feel free to subscribe, give us a thumbs up. We're going to continue to make content. What we know, we're going to pass it on to you. And this is mainly for our viewers that are thinking about coming to the Philippines for the first time. Or maybe you're ready to retire here. And we'll be making further videos about some of the essentials that you should do. But that's the number one thing, guys, is to make sure that you have time. You would like to have at least 2 weeks to come visit the Philippines, minimum. Because remember, it takes almost 2 days of traveling. It's 16 hours one way. So you're talking about almost 2-3 of those days eaten up in just traveling back and forth. So Once you get here, you're probably going to want to explore a few of the beaches, a few of the islands. If you're coming to meet a girl, you're going to want to get a chance to know her. She's going to want to introduce you around to her family. A lot of times, if you come to visit a Philippine woman that's from maybe one of the small provinces, she may have never been to the city before, and she may not really know her way around. She may bring a cousin or her aunt or somebody with her to the airport to meet you, because she may not know how to get around herself. If you are talking to a Filipina that knows her way around, then she'll know how to get around, and that would be good, because then she could be your guide. If not, a girl from the province maybe doesn't know how to get around that well. They may know the language, they may know those things, but not how to get around that well. Therefore, they may bring a cousin or someone with them. But guys, cabs are cheap here. The fares are very cheap. They have travel by tricycle. Even if you're living here, a car is optional, because public transportation is so very cheap. The highest things you pay for is food here. Food can get expensive, but not if you eat Filipino food. If you eat Filipino food, it's very inexpensive. But that's an acquired taste. It's something you'll probably have to acquire. But I would say that the Filipino people are very friendly, very accommodating. Never once did I ever feel in fear here walking down the street at night, in the day, or anywhere. They're very helpful. They're looking out for your best interest. As foreigners, what they call us, they want us to come here as tourists, because they know tourists mean jobs. Tourists means jobs in the hotel industry, the hospitality industry, and all other avenues here that Filipinos make money. So tourists mean money. They're going to welcome you with open arms. Remember, guys, take your time. Don't settle in on just the first person you meet. Might not be the right one for you. You might have been talking to somebody online, and then you find out when you get here in person that you're not compatible with that person. That's a whole nother subject about relationships. A lot of times, the person that you met online is not who you end up with. The very first person that I was talking to, I did not end up with. The next person I started talking to turned out to be the one I met in person, and it ended up being my wife. And we're very compatible. But we'll talk about relationships another time. Right now in this video, I wanted to address some of our subscribers' questions about how do I get to the Philippines? What do I need? What do I need to bring? Remember the weather, guys. It's 80 to 90 degrees year round. So whether it's raining, whether it's dry, it's going to be hot. So you're not going to need to pack a lot of long clothes for a vacation. You're going to need shorts. The only time you will need is one pair of long pants for the plane. The plane is the coldest thing that you would be on. Other than that, it's going to be warm all the time. So we're not going to talk any much longer, but we'll get back to you again next time with another video about the essentials. What do I need to come to the Philippines? Remember, guys, if you have any comments, any questions, put them down there, and we'll be glad to get back to you as soon as we can. Remember, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel as we continue to make more content, and let every one of our subscribers know all the things that we're doing, our adventures. We're going to take you along with us. We'll see you next time, guys, at Junie Lyon Williams Adventures. Until then, remember, be good to yourself and enjoy every day, because tomorrow's not promised. See you later, guys.